What is going on, everybody? It is episode 527 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett, and I'm here once again with my co-host. Would you please introduce yourself?
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. Last night, we had a terrible snowstorm all night, and it was not fun making it to the castle today. Let me tell you that. And it's the day that everyone's coming back from Iowa.
Yeah.
So that's just great timing, right?
Yeah. The freeways weren't bad, but like where we are here, it's like a rather treacherous. Like if you don't drive an SUV on the back roads, it can be less than ideal getting into work. Which
if I slid into a ditch, I would die doing what I love. Making it to my podcast.
I was waiting for like the hammer to drop on a joke there.
There's no joke. Wesley is here with us.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
I am well.
Doing good.
As she said, it's kind of a snow day here today, so
there's nobody to film.
Yes, so that freed me up to come hang out with you guys.
Yeah,
I guess you'll settle for guesting on this podcast.
He's like, I got some time.
Second-rate option.
Guys, we got a bunch of stuff to get into, and for a lot of it, you're going to be learning what the hell's going on as we are, because like we said, we're a little bit behind today, but we got some fun stuff to talk about. Number one being the fact that Ken seems to have pissed off a whole bunch of rabid feminists over his win at the Critics' Choice Award. Of course, Ken being Ryan Gosling. You know, he's a guy, so he shouldn't win an award for the Barbie movie, they're saying. The image of him from it went fairly viral last night. It's the first time I've seen an image like that go viral from somebody that isn't Ben Affleck in a very long time, right? Like
Ryan Gosling looked very dissatisfied that he got an award for Best Song.
Maybe he's just lazy. Maybe he just didn't want to.
Or he just thinks that the song sucks and doesn't understand why people like it so much.
Why do people like this so much?
Damn it, I have to walk up a stage.
Well, and then he didn't even. He's like, you guys. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Noah Schnapp, of course, of Stranger Things fame. He is backtracking on his previous comments that he made about Israel and Hamas, mainly because a lot of people believe that he still wants to be able to work, which I don't see how this would have affected his work personally, but we'll get into that.
Well, because he's gay.
Yes, amongst, just the fact that the show's almost done. They got like one season left. So we'll talk about that. He backtracks. It's just funny because if you look at the old clip that he posted, I love when people, they can be sassy and they can be snarky, but they don't know how to take the heat when they do that. There's a little bit of emotional dysregulation there, I think, for a lot of people. So we're going to talk about that. Also, if you remember Xochitl Gomez, she was in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. There's this really interesting interview that she does where she essentially talks about one of the side effects of being famous now is that she has to deal with deep fake pornography being made about her, which is creepy because this isn't a child. She was not an adult when this was made.
Still isn't.
All this stuff was made. I think she turns 18 this year.
What was the name of her character in Multiverse of Madness?
She was
America?
Yeah,
America Chavez. But what was her? Did she have a title?
No,
didn't she?
I don't think so. I think
she's not the same girl that played Miss Marvel, obviously.
No.
But the point is that now that she's reached Marvel, she's reached Marvel level of fame, the problem is that she's got all of this publicity coming in. So she does this really interesting interview that actually has at least a couple of upsides, because it seems like her mom actually cares about what happens to her, which is always a good thing to see, given the fact that the opposite option in Hollywood tends to be that the parents don't always care what happens to their children.
They care so long as it affects their...
Is America Chavez really supposed to be a lesbian character?
I don't remember.
I think
I didn't read all new Marvel.
Yeah, they didn't really include that in the movie as far as I remember.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that, and we're also going to talk about the fact that Amouranth is now advising women not to do OnlyFans. It's
interesting.
It's interesting. It's like pulling
Close
up
the door behind you.
It's like pulling up the porn ladder right behind you. I guess it is what it is. So we're gonna get into that. It's an interesting. I sent this to Mary, and she was she at first looked uninterested, and then the more she read, her eyes kind of got bigger, and she was just less interested, and then more angry.
Said, I hate everything about this.
Yes. Usually I take that to mean that she doesn't want to cover it.
Why? She's telling women not to do OnlyFans.
Well, no, I thought you were saying that you didn't want to talk about it. Usually when she says something like that, it means that she doesn't want to talk about it.
It made me sufficiently angry.
Perfect. So we're gonna get into that. It's gonna be interesting.
I have to share my negativity with everyone.
So it's not a good day for me unless I get at least a double dose of Mary's negative attitude at least once. It keeps me it keeps me from getting too happy about life. It's good. It's good for me. It keeps you low.
Keep you in your place.
Exactly. Okay. So if you guys are ready, we will just go ahead and get right into it. But first, actually, let's wait. So guys, again, we are out of sorts here a little bit. We're behind schedule. We're getting everything ready. So hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to this channel, please, if you have not done so already. We have passed 95,000 subscribers. We are on our way to 100,000 subscribers, which is fantastic. So thank you guys so much for that. Share the video with your friends. The more people that get shared these videos, hopefully that means more people come in here, check out the show, and decide we're not too terrible, hang around, and then share the video with their friends. Like I always say, multi-level marketing scam. It's fantastic. Also remember, all super chats $20 and over, we will interrupt the discussion. We will read those super chats right then and there, and we will do our very best to get back on topic. Yesterday, you guys had a lot to say.
Yeah.
You know, so if you guys want to interrupt on any of these discussions, feel free to do so.
I think everyone just got really excited Dane was here.
Yes.
After going out for milk and cigarettes.
I saw that meme too. Somebody posted a
It was
meme of
good.
him. Yeah. So, all right, if you guys are ready, we will go ahead and get right into it. You ready, Mary?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I like the enthusiasm, my friend. That was fantastic. All right. I got some, this is a white pill of sorts. It's a white pill, like, wrapped in a dark cloth, I guess, because it involves a car accident. But this says, imagine your vehicle is turned over. You're disoriented, wondering if this is the end. You turn to your left and you see Hulk Hogan in his NWO shirt saying, "Give me your hand, brother." I love it. The Hulk, I love the fact that he's actually wearing an NWO shirt in this photograph, like out in public. He's not just wearing like a regular shirt.
Hulk Hogan helped rescue a woman involved in a car accident, and you can see it was pretty bad.
Yeah,
Her car is upside down in the picture.
Yeah.
TMZ reported this. Who is he standing next to?
That's his wife.
Is that his wife?
He's recently married and recently baptized.
All right.
So maybe he's feeling the Lord right now. It's running through him. It's running wild like Hulkamania.
I also saw a recent interview from Alan Richson where, and I saw it when we were talking about him yesterday, where he stopped a mugging or something, or no, a carjacking.
Yeah.
Like physically, imagine Alan Richson,
Just
this like gigantic jacked dude just chasing after you. Like,
if you see
I would regret my life decision.
Jack Reacher's literally chasing you.
Yeah, like you're literally getting.
The best part about that too is like the very first scene of him in season 2 of Reacher is him stopping a carjacking.
Yep.
So all the headlines about this article about him actually doing that took the thumbnail of him punching through the glass of a car window to make it look like that's actually him doing it. I love the fake news.
Poetic
of it all.
justice,
It was fantastic. Yeah, Alan Richson. So in the time span of about 20 minutes. I found that video of him, and then 3 other people, including Wesley, all sent me the video of Alan Richson talking about being Christian. It's so weird how we're all just kind of controlled by the algorithm.
Yeah, I didn't see it though.
No.
I don't know why.
You'd think
It
Mary
was
would have seen
weird. Like, it came up in my feed very, like, a lot of him, and I was like, all I did was say his name.
Yep.
Like,
You
all I
spoke
did
it
was say
into
his name.
existence.
Never searched for anything.
Yep.
Like-
It's like Candyman. Yeah. So good on the Hulkster for doing this. It's a bit of a white pill, even though the car accident part is sad. But the Hulkster. All right.
Well, speaking of Hulk,
That's how stupid I am. I didn't even make that connection.
this is good news for us, bad news for Marvel and for She-Hulk because it's likely canceled after a single season.
Yep.
Disney doesn't cancel things. They put things on indefinite hiatus.
Okay, indefinite hiatus. We'll leave it at that. But Tatiana Maslany recently said that a second season for She-Hulk is unlikely. Quote, "I think we blew our budget," and Disney was like, "No thanks." Here's the kicker. I didn't know this. The first season of She-Hulk cost $225 million.
That's $25
That many
million
zeros.
That's $25 million an episode.
Let's go get it, girl. Get your money.
I mean, how is that even possible?
I think back in the in the mid 2000s, I remember some numbers being like a network television episode cost like $7 to $8 million at that time, which of course with inflation would cost a hell of a lot more now.
And then it was Game of Thrones that pumped
the
it up. They
budget
were
up.
like
It was
10
to 15.
10, and then I remember The Mandalorian was like, we're going to go bigger. We're going to go 15 million an episode. And the episodes were like 20 minutes, so it was mind-blowing.
Yeah, and that was actually what I was going to say is like on those network television episodes, you had ads running on all of them that paid for all of this.
This was
Also,
just
they were, like,
dumped
the
on
same-
Disney Plus.
These were all like the same length, right? I love what I'm loving about Reacher is that all the episodes are network television length. They're all about 42 minutes, which is perfect. We got a $20 one here from Mud with 2 Ds. It says, "Hey Brett and Mary, big fan. with a book review podcast with comedian Melissa Diaz that I think y'all and the Crisis Actor should enjoy. It's called The Turtle Reads Podcast, and it's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Thank you for the shameless self-promo.
That's awesome. It says, I wonder what, so do you guys just cover, new books every couple of weeks or something like that? That would actually be my hell.
Let us know if you reviewed Megan Fox's poetry book. Yes. That would be really interesting.
That would be my hell to have to, because whenever I loved reading a lot when I was younger, but it is definitely, part of your brain that you have to use regularly. Otherwise you, nowadays when I'm reading anything longer than a crappy article, I find myself, I'm like, gotta read that page again.
I'm here reading 5,000 word New York Times pieces about how Taylor Swift is a lesbian.
I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But that's the thing. It's our brains are so short now that I can then go through and look at an insane thread of people arguing. How is that not reading? I'm reading. I'm just reading in short bursts. Can somebody write me a book in short bursts? Write me a book, but do it in 180 character sections.
Shit my dad says.
There you go. That's what we need.
I know what to get you for Christmas next year.
I was because I was explaining to, I think it was the other day, I was explaining the first time I read James Lindsay's book, I realized how long it had been since I had read not because I listen to audiobooks regularly, but that was something I did at work. The problem with that is you don't realize how much you miss sometimes when you're doing other things while engaging in something like that type of literature, especially if it's I remember reading Annie Jacobs' book, was it Arrive, Kill, Vanish? It was about the formation of the CIA and stuff like that back in the day. And I read it, I listened to it through, and then I'm I listened to it through again. I'm like, oh, I don't remember that. I whole chapters that just because
I don't trust myself with audiobooks.
Yeah, it would be I must have been actually doing work at that time rather than in between, tasks.
Yeah.
So, but good on you, man. I hope more people check it out. That sounds like fun. All right, so $25 million an episode. That's
how many episodes were there?
9 episodes.
9 episodes.
So that's I wonder how much they paid Megan Thee Stallion to twerk. Did she get
Maybe she did it for free because that's what she loves doing. Yeah. She does it for free all the
maybe
time.
She got an express pass.
Megan Thee Stallion twerks for free enough that I would probably bet she didn't get paid for that.
They said that they paid Lindsay Lohan $500,000 for her cameo in Mean Girls, in the new Mean Girls,
and they had to make that fire crotch line that deeply offended her.
Yes, that is a slur.
Fire crotch is a slur, by the way, and gingers are oppressed and they don't deserve this treatment.
Yeah.
But yeah, $225 million for that ugly CGI. Where was the money going?
I have no idea.
Well, actually,
shadier than the Iraq War.
I will comment on the CGI. That's a poor planning thing where they had an idea of what the episode order was when they ordered it, and then right before release, when they thought they were going to have several weeks to continue working, they swapped the order of the episodes.
Okay.
And this was right before Victoria Alonso got fired, who was in charge of their CGI and post-production elements and stuff like that. Remember we had that whole big article that came out last year about how Marvel Disney was in shambles, and a big part of that was that Victoria Alonso wasn't doing her job properly. So these shows would be the beneficiaries of that lack of leadership.
The concept of these shows in general kind of throws off. It's in a bad way, an industry disruptor, because the industry has an idea of how much, for lack of a better term, content it can produce in a given amount of time. And when you have one company that is the biggest one being we're going to do 10 times that this year,
there's just nobody to do it.
There's no mechanism to support that.
We got a $20 super chat from the Undertaker. We joke about it, but the way people communicate on social media in bursts is having a negative effect on communication skills of the masses. Yes. Look at the eloquent battlefield letters recovered from past wars and compare. And these are people without extensive educations.
That's
that
why
wrote
every
those
time
letters.
I text Taylor, my dearest Taylor, it has been several hours since.
It's gonna end up in your biography for sure.
But for me, I would I was every once in a while I'll get the things you posted this on this date on Instagram or whatever, and I'll see I used to write these very very long critiques of the culture that would just sit there, and I'm wow, my attention span was pretty good just 2 years ago. What the hell happened?
Just put it on Twitter now.
Yeah, well, it's like I'm not one of those people. I hate when you open like a tweet and it's like the Bill Ackman ones on Academia that are like, it's 20,000. It's literally, he reaches the character limit, which is like, it's like 25,000 words or something like that on Twitter for people with like the paid profile. And I'm like, bro, please tell me you didn't type this on Twitter, that you actually wrote this like in an app and then transferred it over. That's crazy. But yeah, so I don't know if they're going to be able to make a season 2 if season 1. Though I did see something today that said the Fast X Part 2 is going to be an homage to the first Fast and the Furious movie with a pared down budget. I'm like, that's just a really, really nice way of saying that your movie didn't make enough money and now you're going to spend less on the sequel because you're not going to have the money to actually do it because the movie cost so much to make because of COVID.
You could do these things. You could do this. Their problem is, well, A, quantity, but the quality as well. But it's because there's no plan. Like there's no, like if you're going to like, hey, we're going to do episode 7, 8, and 9 first, like, and then re-edit, and those things aren't done. But Aaron and I often talk about like the pyramid of creation is fast, cheap, good. Pick 2. And in the case of
you can't have
these,
all 3.
They had none.
Yeah.
It
wasn't fast, it wasn't cheap, and it wasn't good.
Yeah,
That's actually really impressive. It's like I watched this thing once. It was like they have a supposed psychic, and they're like, guess the color of the cards, like from a deck of cards, right? And he gets 25 of them. He gets all of them wrong, which is exactly the same odds as getting all of them right. So I like it.
That's what Marvel is doing.
It's very impressive. They're like, wow, I didn't even know you could screw it up that bad.
Remember how the last 10 years we nailed it? Yeah. We're going to take it in a different direction.
He's like, I think it's time to switch things up a bit. We've been doing a little too well. All right, guys. All right. So, you guys, we haven't talked about Kris Tyson in a while. It's been like, what, 3-4 months?
Yeah. Well,
it's just every time I'm here.
Kris Tyson is forever going to be referred to in reference to MrBeast, which is not a good thing for MrBeast.
Yeah.
This says MrBeast's Kris Tyson, now with a K rather than a CH, to tell you that this is a man who identifies as a woman, cooks Elon Musk for the rise of Nazi memes on X, saying maybe worry about Nazi memes on your website instead of the meme ban in Ireland.
Is that a real thing, a meme ban in Ireland?
I would believe it.
Okay.
I would have guessed Germany because they're the ones that come for everybody every time they post something.
Well, also, but like what, you can't name your kid Adolf in Germany. They're that's a touchy subject over there.
Yeah.
What Nazi memes are they even referring to?
A lot of people brought that up.
Things they don't disagree with.
I don't understand.
Doesn't Keemstar run Drama Alert?
Yes, he does.
Okay, I love that.
And he replies to the Drama Alert tweets as if they weren't written by him or an employee.
I guess. Well, no, I like that. It's like the employee has a different take than him. They say the Drama Alert says common Kris W, but then what he says is not L, freedom of speech. So I like the idea that they're sitting in like opposite, like they're right next to each other writing this.
Yeah. I just have no idea what Nazi memes he's referring
Mary's
to.
like, where can I find these Nazi
I would
memes?
love to see some Nazi memes. I'm curious. Well, You've piqued my curiosity.
And most of the people that were in the comments were saying, like, this is more like you telling on yourself. It's your algorithm sending them to you rather than just finding them by accident. Oh, I've stumbled upon some Nazi memes.
Brother doesn't even know his own gender, yet he wants to come at the king. Worry about your family you abandoned and stop seeking your quote-unquote truth.
Thoughts?
I agree.
Thoughts?
That's basically my singular thought on the matter. Is I agree.
Yeah.
Sort out your own quarter life crisis, bro.
Oh, and okay, this was interesting. So Mary says to me, she says that she believes that the Kris's transition is a reaction to feeling inferior to MrBeast.
Yeah, I theorized that perhaps one reason why Kris Tyson transitioned is he had an inferiority complex toward MrBeast because they were longtime friends, and MrBeast is this massively successful person, and Kris Tyson is forever going to live in his shadow and be referred to in reference to MrBeast, and that might have made him question his masculinity.
Okay, so I have a question.
Might be reading into it too far, but...
So my question is, like, if that was true, how would this have manifested 20 years ago? Because there have always been a number 2 to somebody famous. That's nothing new, right?
Shake and bake.
Yeah, like,
But it never made anyone chop their dicks off until 2023 happened.
Scottie Pippen was never going to chop his dick off because he wasn't Michael Jordan.
Maybe it wouldn't have manifested that way before the internet happened and you had these ideas suggested to you and you found a community that would accept and celebrate you just for existing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know that Kris Tyson hasn't really been appearing in MrBeast content as much as before anyway.
My question would be, would it manifest, or did people just have a little bit more emotional depth back then, and like, you know, support structure that was not 180 characters?
And no need to outwardly show it because nobody was outwardly show. Most people were not living outwardly, you know, towards posting things on the internet, so there was no reason to do so. You just had to kind of sit and exist with your own feelings.
The good old days.
The good old days.
Well, recently MrBeast posted one of his YouTube videos onto X, directly to X, to see how it would compare getting ad revenue on the platform. And Elon was very happy to see that happen.
Would be interesting to see if one day X could end up becoming a platform where at least bigger name creators could get, like, remember when Kick was giving people, like, all these streamers these huge deals to stream there exclusively? I could see, like,
I'm sure Elon would like to see that in the future.
Yeah.
But the platform is not, like, the interface is not habitable for it at the moment.
Yeah.
They haven't even gotten live streaming down. So.
Plus, you can't scroll down because you never know what the hell you're going to look at when you scroll down. I've had to pull live streams down here because of scrolling.
I mean, I also have been frustrated with the change of ad revenue on the platform, because every time I see a viral tweet and I want to see people's replies to it that are relevant to the tweet, I just come across a bunch of other videos trying to get engagement that have nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
That are usually like from the global south and have no
does blocking
words
work
in
for
them.
that? Does blocking help the machine learning keep people out of your profile or keep people?
It could, but I shouldn't have to block. Like, I shouldn't have to mass block all of these accounts that are run by bots just to see relevant tweets.
The internet is unbelievably fake. We learn that more and more every day. Like the amount of people, like, I don't remember what the last Brie Larson thing we covered was, but I just remember, like, all the people in the comments all had pictures of Brie Larson as their name, and it was these crazy stan accounts. And I noticed that's true in wrestling too. All the female wrestlers have an insane amount of, like, stan accounts.
I'm sorry. How does Brie Larson have a stan account?
There's hundreds of stan accounts on community, or Captain Marvel stan accounts. And I don't know if these are these are those vaunted ones that are run by companies that it's literally Disney.
They're run by Brie Larson.
Yeah,
they're all run by Brie Larson.
It's funnier if she's the one actually running it. Like, she's got her own stan account. Or who did we talk about that had, like, it wasn't Doja Cat. Somebody we talked about recently had, like, a
I was on that too.
Were you?
Yeah.
Like, somebody had, like, they posted from their stan account and got caught.
Yeah, I don't remember who that was.
But that was a while ago.
Verifiable fact.
Yeah. All right, guys. Okay, so Mary, tell us what the hell this is, because I'm gonna let everybody in a fun fact. I've never seen a single Twilight movie.
I think you should, just so that you understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Even if you hate the Twilight movies, I would still appreciate.
I have seen every Twilight bad lip reading.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm a bit of an expert.
But you haven't seen the films. Okay. Well, I'm annoyed because Kristen Stewart did an interview with Variety recently where they talked about how Twilight has its own quote unquote queer sparkle and that this is actually a gay movie made for gay people. She said that Twilight is such a gay movie. I mean, a Mormon woman wrote this book. It's all about oppression, about wanting what's going to destroy you. That's a very gothic gay inclination that I love. And this is arguably the most heterosexual thing that Kristen Stewart has ever done.
Yeah.
I think that...
Is this just rewriting history?
Yes, they are rewriting history,
Okay.
and this is incorrect. And the fan base for Twilight is a bunch of straight women.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It'd be like saying that about 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous.
50 Shades of Gay.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Perfect. There'll be a lot of that, right? Like, and these are the movies especially that we'll end up getting when they get remade will be completely different because of the culture changing.
Do you think that Twilight's going to get a reboot?
Probably. Someday.
I hate it.
Yeah, someday. I don't know when that would happen. I don't know how sought after that is. Vampires aren't as in as they were a couple of years ago. Both of the Dracula movies that came out last year didn't do well.
But they also didn't put Dracula in the title of those movies, so that might have something to do with it.
Renfield is close enough, but like the
Not
other
even.
one, Last Voyage of the Demeter, doesn't exactly evoke vampire vibes.
I think the culture is over vampires.
Vampires and zombies.
Yeah.
Vampires.
I think
Zombies
we've moved
for
past
sure.
that.
It just make it different.
And they're still approving like 5 different spin-off series for The Walking Dead.
Yep. The
That
one
no
with,
one is going to watch.
The one with Andrew Lincoln is like his new one is already like I think back to filming, and I'm like I thought he quit because he didn't want to do this anymore.
Is it a show or a movie?
It's a show, I thought.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a movie. But like, I thought he quit because he's like, dude, I've been doing this for like 9. I'm done. Like, I can't do this
He
anymore.
got some cars to pay off. Okay.
Like, is that really 9 seasons of premium cable? He made a lot of money. That's
Hey, man.
syndication level television right there.
Dude likes cars. I don't know.
All right, maybe.
I mean, they've got,
I don't know
the
that
one
that's
about
true.
Daryl Dixon is still coming out soon, or if maybe it already came out.
That is very much the meme of like look up from the paper, look back at the paper.
What if you
Another new-
like? What if the zombie apocalypse happened, and then you went in a sailboat and then went to Europe, and then you saw zombies in Paris with the Eiffel Tower?
Well, there's also
in the
that
background.
interview with the vampire television show that's on now, and I don't know anybody that's watched that.
There's a vampire television show.
Like the movie Interview
Yeah.
with the Vampire.
Interview with
There's
the
a
Vampire. I
television
did not know
version
that.
of that that's on like AMC, and I don't know anyone that's watched it. Maybe somebody in the chat's watched it.
Does
but-
anybody know that there's other books
Yeah.
and other stories that you can make?
No,
No,
Did they know that?
no.
everything is a reboot. Everything is a spin-off. Everything's a sequel. There's nothing original.
It's very sad.
Stuck culture.
Yep. All right. Bad news for Universal Music Group. They're laying off hundreds of workers. I do love that to get eyes on the article, they have to put Taylor Swift's music label. But it's worth mentioning in this article, they mentioned just a bunch of the different areas that are going through like restructuring and layoffs right now. It says she ranks among the world's biggest stars, having signed. And this was interesting because me and you talked about like, is she independent? Like, what was the point of re-recording her music?
If you had to still do it
Yes.
with the label's support, who
Yes.
could easily be sold to Scooter Braun or the Soros family again, and the same thing would happen to you. You're gonna do the Taylor's version.
She can do like Taylor's version, so she'll have to do it again.
Taylor's version 2 Electric Boogaloo.
But yes, I'd love it if she did that. They're planning to eliminate hundreds of jobs in the first quarter of this year with knowledge of the with people close to the matter. I always, like I said, someday I want to be the source close to the issue on something someday. But they also here mention the other companies that are going through layoffs right now. Disney, Pixar is expected to eliminate 20% of its staff, which is more than 300 workers in the months ahead. Spotify announced layoffs of 17% of its staff,
As well as Twitch,
Yeah,
as well as
Twitch.
Discord.
I didn't know about Discord.
Yeah, well, a lot of women have been posting their L's as they usually do, except they're recording themselves getting laid off from their jobs. And the ones that I saw were Cloudflare and Discord.
Why do women love posting their L's online? I asked. There's literally. There's
It's a question for the ages.
I've seen pages that are dedicated to women taking L's and men getting W's. But I've never seen a men taking L's.
I'm sure both exist for both.
But women have this weird enjoyment of
look at
sharing.
me crying in my car.
Yeah.
It's very
I
strange.
don't get it.
It's like it makes a lot of sense to me personally. So
Okay, explain that.
I just think that there's I have a small anecdote.
Okay.
I worked events for a long time, and in 2021 I got back to that after COVID, and my first job back was 2 weeks in a row. One was a women's retreat, one was a men's retreat for the same church. The difference between those experiences was vast. If we are at now is the nexus. The women's retreat was talking about backwards. The men's retreat was talking about forwards.
Okay.
Then we're like, we're here. What are we doing tomorrow? And the women's retreat was like, and here's how I came here to this day. Here's what happened to me. Here's what made me the person I am.
Yeah.
And a lot of there was a whole lot of clapping and crying. And so share with me in the things that I've gone through to understand the
I guess
person
there's a
I am.
communal aspect to it.
Yes.
Okay.
But that is to process the things that are happening to you. I feel like men think tomorrow. And that's why there's a lot of
Solutions
W's.
focused.
Solutions focused. Like, hey, you're here. You went through this. What are you going to do about it? And the like feminine approach to that is like, I am the person I am today because of all of these things. Let me tell you about them. And there's some like self-actualization there, but and I'm not saying either one is wrong. I'm saying they're just so different.
So what I've learned today is that apparently you can have men's retreats. You just can't have men's summits, like I keep talking about. A whole world of international women's summits, and there's no men's summits. You know why that is? Because we'd solve too many of the world's problems. They got to keep the problems going. If there was men's summits, too much stuff would get figured out.
So true.
And there'd be no carjackings because obviously Alan Richards would be
Yes, he
there.
would show up and he would save the day for everyone there. Yeah, it'd be great.
I just want to point out the thing that I was laughing at is that you made the joke that they didn't put Dracula in the title. I was like, they put Dracula in the title. This one. Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Okay. Yeah.
Swiftula.
Yeah.
All right. So I saw in the chat earlier, somebody mentioned that the Rey Star Wars movie is apparently indefinitely on hold. Well, according to Gizmodo, they are saying that is in fact not true.
The rumor was that Charmin Obaid Chinoy, is that her name?
Charmin Obaid Chinoy, I think.
She had to put this on a hold because she had creative differences with Stephen Knight, who's writing the Rey Solo film. And that is apparently not true, according to a spokesperson for Lucasfilm. But they're basically blaming the rumor on culture warriors who are so mad that there's going to be a Star Wars movie about a woman that is directed by a woman.
Nobody on YouTube is upset. Everyone on YouTube is like, cha-ching. Like,
Yeah. They said, for reasons we can only guess at, this movie has drawn the dark side out of certain pockets of the Star Wars fandom, from inaccurate plot summaries to quotes from the film's director being taken out of context. Yes, her saying she likes to make men uncomfortable. If you put it in context, it makes perfect sense, I'm sure. Some Star Wars fans are simply up in arms about a Star Wars film about a woman being directed by a woman. But no matter what people want to believe about the movie, it's still doing just fine.
How would they know? How would they know? Because this one insider said so?
I guess.
Just no, right? Like, and they could be 110% right. But the great thing is for them is all they have to make is just have one of their insiders release a new topic like this every 2 weeks to keep it in the news cycle forever until the movie comes out.
Yeah, well, I just clicked on this other article that they wrote when those clips were going viral from the director, titled, "The Culture War is Already Coming for the Star Wars Rey Movie."
You know what my takeaway from this is? They're really sticking it to the man. They're writing this feminist Star Wars movie with Stephen Knight. Like,
I don't know anything about Stephen Knight.
he's a man.
Is it, I mean, you mean it's a problem in the feminist
Yeah, it's just like, it's
philosophy
like
for the man to write it? I mean, we would have more to worry about if Charmin Obaid Chinoy was the writer for the movie, actually.
Right, but it's like...
Greta Gerwig presents Rey.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying from
Actually,
their
that'd probably be
perspective, like
better.
there's this massive glaring problem with what you're trying to do. Like
Yeah, we'll get to that more with the Ken stuff.
Yeah.
But also, we talked
relation to Barbie.
recently about how the most recent report from the USC Annenberg Inclusion Initiative says that, like, for all they talk about these things, you know, the people that are helming these films are still ultimately mostly white and male. When you're at that big budget studio level, you know, and that's why I kind of digress, or I diverge from like a lot of the people who say they only care about the message. I said if they really only cared about the message, they would also hire people behind the camera. Like there would be no movies made by J.J. Abrams or by any of these male directors anymore. They would just hire people that fit the demographics that they want to represent, but they still feel like they need to hire those people with more, you know, of a resume to get their message out there. So the message actually ends up failing on that principle already.
I just like, and for the record, I'm not saying this is a problem. I'm saying like it's just ironic that like we're talking about is going to be this. The fact that she's out there saying like I'm going to make men uncomfortable. It's like, dude, he's writing it. Isn't
Stephen
that,
Knight's like, I don't necessarily
Yeah.
do that. Like
You're putting
like-
a female name on the male's homework, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what would we say? Like, was it likely that how much of Barbie did Noah Baumbach actually write? Given
We'll never know.
We'll never actually know. He's like
he would tell you.
He's literally he's like, look, just change the name and change a few things so that it doesn't look like you copied me.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll wait and see. I have no real interest in seeing this, but a lot of YouTubers are going to make a lot of money doing this. We don't even cover Star Wars all that much. It's just that her initial reactions, the reactions of the director, were so ridiculous and over the top, and her lack of credentials so glaring that it was worth at least mentioning.
Yeah.
But as I always say, like there's nobody I feel worse for than Star Wars fans most of the time.
There's another clip of Charmin Obaid-Chinoy that was circulating that we didn't show initially when we reacted to the news, where she said, "I am a storyteller and an activist. And whether it's covert activism or overt activism, my activism is in all of the projects I do." So I don't think there's any context you could add to a statement like that to make it excusable. This woman is worse than Kathleen Kennedy by a long shot.
I remember Daisy Ridley being like, I read the script and it is so different. Nothing about this is different. It's the same thing. It's
different
the same,
in comparison to what?
like the other Star Wars movies, like the last ones she did. Like it's such a different
Meaning the
approach.
last ones she did were also bad, so this is gonna be worse.
She just said it was a different approach, and like it's new. Her point essentially was like, oh, this is fresh, and it's like, is it? Because you're saying the same things. Like
It's never all that different.
no,
Right?
and like if you're approaching it, if you're like the way you're describing it is the same as the last ones, like why should I believe that? Like I don't. Like there's no reason I should. But what is like this is the problem. It's the SpongeBob. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Like this movie's gonna not do well.
Brother, this guy stinks.
You think
It's literally that.
Think this one ends up making enough money to make its money back?
No.
No.
Well,
We don't
they're
even
gonna
know the
spend
budget
500
yet.
million on it.
Also, just remember how long it's been since it's going to be a long time.
Yeah.
From when they actually, what was Rise of Skywalker was 2019.
2019.
Right?
A lot of people.
So it's been television only.
A lot of people really dislike the Rey character, but do people have any type of feelings about Daisy Ridley as a person? Because she's not attracted nearly the same ire as a Brie Larson or a Rachel Zegler.
Probably because it was at the same time.
Yeah,
Or
and
even
she's
Kathleen
also
Kennedy.
like not that big of a social media or interview person. She seems somewhat private, which is refreshing, I suppose.
In the chat, Mark Daga says, subverting expectations no longer subverts our expectations. Yes, that's why Top Gun Maverick was so fantastic. They subverted your expectations by not subverting your expectations.
Actually, subvert my low expectations for once.
Like
Surprise me pleasantly.
It would be fantastic, and I just don't see this movie making its money back in any way. I could be wrong. Look, the tide could turn by that time, or maybe it breaks even.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how. I don't have the box office numbers in front of me. I don't know what the geographical breakdown was of where, because the Rise of Skywalker made $1 billion. The problem is it cost as much as it did to make. Yep. I don't know where the majority of that money came from. I would assume overseas. Right? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know how damaged the Star Wars brand is outside of America. I know it's damaged here. I don't know if it's necessarily the same issue in other countries.
I don't know. I actually think most of it did come from here. For some reason, Star Wars is a hard sell outside of the U.S., especially China, and especially that trilogy. I don't know about the others, but I just don't know who this is for. Like the Rey girls,
women.
The Rey girls are grown up. They didn't like Star Wars then.
It's for the millions
Almost
of women who love
split.
Star Wars.
Even split.
So it made
Shocking.
515,000 of its domestic and 558,000 of it international. So yeah, you're right. Like the fact that like usually your international box office outweighs your domestic box office just because it's way more
people.
Yeah. So the fact that it barely made any more money internationally than it did here in the U.S. is very, very telling. So I have no desire to see this, but it'll be fun to watch a lot of people create content around it, even though I'm gonna have to sit here and I guess we'll have to review it when it comes out.
Yeah,
it'll be
we
stupid.
will.
I'll be there.
All right.
I'll have a lot to say.
All right, guys. Let's go. What would you like to see? Cringe or cue of the day?
I feel like we should start with cute.
Okay. All right. We can. Oh yeah, because
we have a lot of cringe.
We got multiple cringes today. We stacked the list for today's cringe. All right. This is a special one here from Halls and the Kid. Submitted this one. Snowball is in his element. I've been holding back culling his floof for a good snow day.
So cute.
Adorable.
Yeah, he'll need that coat.
Yes.
For the winter.
Very cute. Okay, let's do one more.
Blending in.
Guys, I do need more cute of the day. Go ahead and submit it. Tag me in that and hashtag PCC Pets, hashtag cute of the day. PCC Pets is the one I check regularly. So go ahead and submit your pets to be seen here.
With Snowball.
And here is Pig Taku. It says, I'm jealous because my wife gets to work from home and hang out with the pets.
Aw.
It says the teeths.
Hi. I love cat teeth. They're so tiny.
Hi.
Those are not tiny. That would suck to get bitten by.
Speaking of vampires.
All right. All right, we got a bunch of cringe today, guys.
Buckle up.
We got a bunch
You
of
are not ready for this one. Remember when we talked about Meet Upon Maine, the Disney fan dating site?
That's a real thing.
This is a satire of it. Swingers on Maine.
As me and my long-term boyfriend know that we meet a lot of our friends online these days.
We have made a ton of friends in the Disney community, a majority of which we have met on Swingers Upon Maine.
This is an app for swingers by swingers. Swingers that love Disney.
Ashley and I love to swing all over Walt Disney World Resort,
The Grand Floridian.
Main Street, USA,
Cinderella's Castle.
Space Mountain, and people love to drink around the world. Well, how about swinging around the world?
It's our favorite.
Swing Upon Maine has Disney lovers from all over the world, and we all just come together in the most magical place on Earth. And heck, why not call it the most fun place on Earth, too?
We don't just trade pins at Magic Kingdom. We trade partners.
Oh boy! Oh boy! You can download the app Swing Upon Maine today, and maybe we'll see you there.
And we'll show you a whole new world.
Wait, what was that slogan
Anyone
on
who knows me and my
the
long-term
on Swingers
boyfriend
Upon
know
Maine?
And maybe we'll...
Sometimes Mickey wants to take Daisy for a spin. Oh boy!
I know it's just satire, but it was still painful to watch.
I'm sorry, this is completely off topic, but I will never understand who at Rode decided to make the world's worst lav mic that just pulls your shirt down. I love it when people try to do skits wearing these ridiculous mics.
I feel attacked.
It was somehow less awkward than the Meet Upon Maine video.
Yes, well, yeah, because they're actually leaning into it, and they're probably
Her laugh was amazing.
They're probably less socially awkward because they're making this on purpose. All right, okay, we're good. That was fantastic. I promise I didn't look for Swingers Upon Maine at all. I didn't. All right. Oh God.
Here's Ed Sheeran posts a throwback photo from Christmas.
This would have been
No comment.
This would have been a golden opportunity to wear the Astro Boy boots.
Actually, yeah.
Yes.
But they would have clashed. It's all clashing with the ginger hair here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and this one.
Oh, he's red and white. The clothes are red and white.
I gotta mute this because of the damn song. But
you don't want to listen to Body Shop by Sam Smith?
no.
The best song ever made.
Stop it.
Not enough for a...
No.
This is Sam Smith at a recent red carpet event.
It was nice of Robert Downey Jr. to let him borrow those shoes that he uses on the set of Avengers.
The gravity would not serve him well if he fell.
No.
That would hurt.
Somebody who's like actually a gifted singer to then just whatever.
To fully lean into being a token.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. All right. We're done with it. Thank goodness. All right.
Cringe
Let's
is
move
over.
on, shall we? All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm like getting out of my system. All right, Mary. What the hell's going on with Ken?
The Critics' Choice Awards happened recently, and I know what you're thinking. Why do we care what critics think, and why do we care about award shows? I'm right there with you, and I agree. But the reaction on social media so far has been hilarious because Ryan Gosling received an award for Best Original Song for I'm Just Ken in the Barbie movie, which actually was the best part of the Barbie movie, which was not an amazing experience to watch in theaters. He was the standout performance from Barbie, which is ironic, given that this is a an expressly feminist film that is meant to empower women, Ken was the star of it, unintentionally. And his reaction to getting this award was interesting. He looked very dissatisfied when he heard the announcement. He looked confused. And like he wanted a woman to receive the award. And that has been the overwhelming reaction to this, is it's wrong for a man to receive an award for anything that he did in the Barbie movie, because that's not feminist.
But also, it wouldn't necessarily be the singer who goes to accept the award. Like, it would be the writer of the song.
Yeah, the writer of the song was the one who went up to accept the award.
Didn't go up to get the award.
But Ryan Gosling's performance of the song is what got it there, right? Like, he had the best part of the Barbie movie.
Let's watch this
And
clip.
I think he did deserve recognition for that.
Let's watch this clip, because the picture of him, the image was going viral yesterday.
Yeah, here's his reaction. He looks very unhappy.
He does. He's
giving the camera the side eye.
He's like,
Billie Eilish was passed up for this.
Barbie are writers Mark Ronson and Andrew Wyatt, and performer Ryan Gosling.
He's just like, I hate this song.
Yes.
Why do you people like
But
this
people
song
got
so much?
very mad
And
because
Billie
they're making
Eilish
it about him.
actually got Best Song at the Golden Globes. So what? We're just supposed to give her the same award all over again?
Yes.
And they also panned to Greta Gerwig in the broadcast, and she didn't look happy about it either. And here were some of the insane tweets. One said, "The fact that a movie about girlhood and feminism has been consistently overshadowed by a male protagonist is very on the nose." Another one said, "It's so wild because I feel like the main theme in Barbie was men doing the bare minimum and getting celebrated for it, and it literally created a real world example."
He did not do the bare minimum.
Yeah,
He carried the
that's-
movie on his back.
Literally, he carried Barbie,
Yes.
and that performance was the best part of Barbie. I don't know. I think that Ryan Gosling was probably reacting that way because he wanted people to think that he's a good male feminist. He didn't, or he just genuinely disliked I'm Just Ken and doesn't understand why it deserves an award. But another one had a more positive reaction. "Movie made by women for women. Man wins the award. We can't stop winning, bros." Common male W.
It's not easy being this good.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the feminists really don't want to admit to themselves that they love Ken and that they love this song.
I think that's what most people. I still believe there's revisionist history going around on Barbie. A lot of people are pretending like they liked it when maybe they didn't actually like it initially. I feel like people are looking for something deeper that's not there. But one thing that doesn't need to be searched for is that he was the best part of the movie, by far.
Yeah. The worst part of the movie, though, was America Ferrera's speech about how hard it is to be a woman. And I'm going to read some of that monologue for you, Wesley, because you didn't get the privilege and honor of getting to see Barbie yourself. You're probably smart for that. So here it is. "You have to be thin, but not too thin. And you can never say you want to be thin. You have to say you want to be healthy, but also you have to be thin. You have to have money, but you can't ask for money because that's crass. You have to be a boss, but you can't be mean. You have to lead, but you can't squash other people's ideas. You're supposed to love being a mother, but don't talk about your kids all the damn time. You have to be a career woman, but also always be looking out for other people. You have to answer for men's behavior, which is insane, but if you point that out, you're accused of complaining." And the speech goes on and on. It's just the worst part of the Barbie movie that totally ruined what was supposed to be a lighthearted comedy. And this was the character Gloria. She is the human supporting character in the movie who is playing with stereotypical Barbie, and her feelings of depression sort of transfer over to her doll, and that's what breaks her illusion and leads her into the human world. So that was the worst part of the Barbie movie. The best part was I'm Just Ken.
Yep.
And I don't know why the feminists are so mad, because America Ferrera got an award for this speech. It's called the See Her Award. And Margot Robbie gave her an introduction, and the whole room was just clapping like seals. Everyone loved it. And she was celebrated for speaking for women. And when I watched that speech, I didn't feel like I was being spoken for at all. It was just delivering the most boilerplate feminist talking points to probably who they hope to be young girls that they can indoctrinate.
High level of narcissism for celebrities who feel like it's their job to speak for other people just because they look the same. Like there's so much that separates us from one another that what you look like is very rarely the biggest contributing factor to whether you see eye to eye with another person. You could sit across from someone here and we all come from fairly different backgrounds, and that's normal. That's good. It's good to have to find middle ground that isn't connected to just how you look. So whenever they take these awards and they're like, I saw last night that what was it? Niecy Nash also said, or somebody else said, like they accept this award on behalf of all black and brown people, and I'm just like, I don't get. Maybe it's because I'm not that I don't understand that logic.
No, it's because you aren't happy to be tokenized.
And I don't
and patronized.
I don't
that.
have any such affinity or connection or identity based around what I look like or anything like that. And I abhor the idea of like group structure in general, and especially when it comes to your identity, not just your like what you look like, but also even your political affiliations or how you socialize. I just never enjoyed that. So I guess I just can't relate. So I understand that there are people that do, probably not people in this room, but I guess they are speaking to some people, because if you look at the responses below most of this, the people seem to be
social media is not a good reflection of what the general population
thinks. So do you want to watch part of this?
Yeah, so I just wanted to show her acceptance speech for this See Her award.
But we'll watch some of it here.
When it counts the most. When Greta Gerwig needed someone to talk about the true experience of what it's like to be a woman, there was one voice in her head. America gave our film a rallying cry filled with candor, vulnerability, and inspiration. She was speaking for every woman, everywhere, in a way that only America could. Every time I have been in a cinema when Barbie has played, the audience has erupted into applause after Gloria's monologue. Seriously. There are undoubtedly kids all over the world right now reciting that monologue in drama classes. And since opening weekend, the internet has been flooded with hundreds of thousands of social posts quoting her. Those words and her performance have had that much of an impact on the world. She is an artist and an activist. She tells us the truth and asks us to reach for something more in the world and in ourselves.
Before we continue, I just want to remind everyone that it is not enough to just not be an activist. It is your job to be actively anti-activist.
Yes.
He deserves to be celebrated, so please welcome the amazing America Ferrera.
There's just this palpable level of I bet you the level of rotator cuff surgery for celebrities that pat themselves on the back is just very high.
The insane feminist screeches. Here's where it gets good.
They should cut away to his reaction to the award during this.
Right, he looks equally confused.
I'm just waiting for the teleprompter to show my speech. There it is. Thank you so much to the Critics' Choice Association. Truly, your voices shape how people think about and value the stories we tell. I'm deeply thankful to you for
People's
this
Joker is less cringe.
We
can play People's Joker.
We haven't gotten the official request
if
yet.
If you would like to request People's Joker.
If you want to make Wesley sit through it, somebody will have to request that officially, but you understand the rules.
Her award
Don't know what that is.
for my contributions to more authentic portrayals of women and girls couldn't be more meaningful to me, because I grew up as a first-generation Honduran American girl in love with TV.
Look at how
film and theater.
How fake they are.
Wanted to be a part
it's
of
nauseating.
a legacy
There's a camera
that I
on me.
could not see myself.
There's a camera on me. I have to look emotional.
Of course, I could feel myself in characters who were strong and complex, but these characters rarely, if ever, looked like me.
I wanted them to be brown like me.
To see people like myself on screen as full humans. when I
What
started.
does that mean?
It just means that
I'm actually asking that question. What does that mean?
means that she's brown and she wants to see brown people on screen. That's
But,
literally what it
like,
means.
You're never a full human when you're a character in a movie. You're the interpretation created by someone's writing. So that just
started working over 20 years ago, that seems impossible, I know, but it seemed impossible that anyone could make a career portraying fully dimensional Latina characters.
Latina characters.
But
of course.
Because of writers, directors, producers, and executives who were daring enough to rewrite outdated stories and to
tell new stories. Continue.
challenge deeply entrenched biases.
Look at the girl who played her daughter, looks so bored.
Oh, is it stopping working?
Stop.
Yes!
Oh no, it's actually in the recording.
To bring to life some fierce and fantastic women. Skip this part, I cut that. Thank you. Okay, stop. I'm gonna take it back. That I and some of my beloved Latina sisters have had the chance, because of that, we have had the chance to bring through some deeply layered Latina characters and characters
Why do you have to say it like that?
Not have
Intermittent
seen
accent.
This is like Pedro
But
Pascal
now
when he's like, my name is
I can
Pedro.
see her. And
I give a break on that. It's his name. A little bit of a break.
Still though. Do you guys want it to stop?
I want it to stop. Make it stop.
And in Jenna Ortega, and in Selena Gomez, and in so many more out there. To me, this is the best and highest use of storytelling. To affirm one another's full humanity. To uphold the truth that we are all worthy of being seen. Black, brown, indigenous, Asian, trans, disabled, any body type, any gender, we are all worthy of having our lives richly and authentically reflected.
I'm done.
Your life is boring and it shouldn't be reflected on screen.
I would say
Most people's lives and stories are completely boring and uninteresting, and they should not be reflected in our entertainment. Ever.
Also, you're part of a for-profit industry, at least a supposedly for-profit industry. None of those things actually matter when millions of dollars are being spent, and the goal supposedly is to make a return on investment. If you want to talk about doing this in the guise of self-created art, I would say that that's fine. I would even encourage you to do that.
What would David Zaslav say?
Like if you want to self-finance and do this on your own terms, I would say yes. Then those are, I guess, worthy goals if you deem them so. But if the idea here is that Warner Brothers, Disney, all these companies are supposed to foot the bill for stuff that continuously loses money, and every story we cover over the last,
to be fair, that wasn't Barbie though.
But that's, everyone knows that is the exception and not the rule.
Yeah.
That is the exception and not the rule. Mean Girls made $33 million on the backs of a property that is a cult classic because it doesn't understand that is not how it works these days. You have to be able to provide entertainment for people that goes beyond that. And she listed authentic portrayals. This is one singular portrayal. There are hundreds of shows made every year. We just did a video last week about woke television. Again, I hate that word. Woke television shows, all of which nobody had ever heard of and nobody was watching, many of which were already on the chopping block. It is a for-profit industry, supposedly, and all of the identity politics in the world don't really fit into it. If this was the speech from somebody who is doing community theater and being given an award because of their authentic portrayals in a story that they were willing to tell that maybe they financed or they raised funding through the community, I would be 110% okay with this. But in this setting, I have to ask, how much money do these studios have to spend before they realize that these tenets of belief aren't profitable? Now, if she said, we told an interesting story that appeals to large demographics of people that also happens to authentically portray various groups to differing levels, yes, fantastic. That's beautiful. But all of the evidence, all of the layoffs, all of the lost money tells me otherwise. And all of the arf clapping and back patting won't change any of that. And Hollywood is about to hit an even rougher patch with the strike, with all of the problems related to the strike now rearing its ugly head, and everything that they're losing. Yet there's still times, and there's still no men's summit. But we have 1,000 celebrities patting themselves on the back every day.
Like, they platformed a speech that we didn't even show the whole thing, that was this preachy and performative, and people's reaction was still to get angry that Ryan Gosling got an award. Yep. That was technically not even his.
There's a $20
Really?
There's a $20 one here from Disco Jensen says, "This is why I care not for award shows. Thanks, I hate it." Yes.
I agree.
Yep.
This is a really annoying topic in the sense that it's so like indicative of the larger problem, which is lack of substance.
Yes.
And like, there's so many firsts. Every time one of these happens, it's a first. I don't know how you can have that happen.
She also said rewrite stories. Why don't you tell new stories?
Yes.
Because you exist on the backs of giants that came before you that made these studios gazillions of dollars to the point where they're not even willing to try to tell new stories, but to rewrite them.
It does remind me of the Trump or the Melania speech, where it's like, he made the joke that like, we have a double standard because Michelle Obama gave a speech and everyone loved it, and Melania gave the exact same speech and you don't love it. And it's like, we made the exact same movie and why don't you like it? It's like, because we've already seen it and it was better the first time. Like, I've said this 1,000 times and I'll say it for the rest of my life. Wokeness is not representation and inclusion. It is substituting that for substance. And when you're like, this is that, like, they're not talking about the great movie they made. They're like, look at the boxes we checked. And it does bear repeating and pointing out that's like, none of those things have ever bothered us. The movies with characters like that look and act like certain demographics have been around for a long time and people like them, but there was passion and art behind it. It told a story that, like Brett just said, can appeal to a lot of people. Describe an experience that is not your own in a way that feels like holistic and full and complete, and you walk away with it with a new outlook on something. These are like boom, shiny / nothing. And they're like, they want to shame you for not liking it and then substitute their reasons for it.
I just think it's their own, what they got jealous of. They got jealous of all the bad Catholic and Christian movies that got made in the last 30 years. And they're like, we can do that. Yep. We just can't do it with a religious theme.
Take the lessons. It's the same problem. Like, I was talking about this with Graham. Like, the reason that Christian movies suck is because they don't want to show Christians as having like, they don't want to promote negative behavior, so they present them as these infallible people, and the only bad people are the ones that aren't Christian. And it's like, that is not
how the world works.
No, and it's like, that is not showing somebody how to get through struggle. It's showing them that no matter what they do, they're right. And that is the same problem. Yep. The same problem. Like, Ray can't fail.
Yep.
Like,
it's all so. See, my definition of woke is, I say go watch the skit Levi Wokes from Saturday Night Live. It's just that, but it's actually serious.
At the end of the day, all of these big studios and David Zaslav and Warner Brothers and their investors, they don't care how affirmed you felt by the Barbie movie. They care that the Barbie movie made $1 billion.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Super Chats. Andrew Jacobs said, "Hi, Mary, your no to uterus, no opinion tweet over Trump's nipples protruding tweet. Happy Thursday, Brett. Hashtag Vivek 2028. Everyone was reacting to Vivek dropping out of the race this morning.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone would be surprised. But yeah, I responded to a trans person who really liked this Mean Girls reboot with no uterus, no opinion. Because if it's anything not related to abortion, I'm going to use that.
By the way, guys, we could still, Wesley will be back in just a second, but we could still make Wesley watch The People's Joker, but we have to get the official request. I will not do it unrequested. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to show him this masterpiece. Shane H. Wilder said, happy Tuesday. Mary, I sent you the clip of Brett yesterday. Do with it what you will. Maybe make an oversized poster for the studio. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, that clip of Brett looking dejected.
It wasn't dejected.
It's art.
It was like some weird type of like half dejection, half pensiveness. It's like
I don't know,
It was
but
kind of like your Taco Bell story.
It was like a Renaissance painting.
It was like your Taco Bell story.
I'm not going to tell the Taco Bell story.
I'm just saying. It was to me. It was like that.
I was telling Brett a Taco Bell story, but I'm not going to tell that Taco Bell story on the show.
Maybe if we had an uncensored show, you'd tell the Taco Bell story. But we don't have an uncensored. Let's do
DCNC said, hiya, Wesley, feeling glonky today?
Well, we can't ask him yet.
I guess we'll have to ask him if he's feeling glonky when he gets back.
Yeah.
It's funny, now that Wesley's gone, they're all about him.
Let's
Shane H. Wilder also said, hi, Wesley, didn't mean to leave you out, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, now he's out,
we'll have to hold off until he gets back to read them. Otherwise, then Wesley will feel unloved, and we need Wesley to feel affirmed.
We need him to feel enough.
If everything that I've learned from that speech that I was just listening to is that feeling affirmed is the most important thing you can be. Mm-hmm. Right? So, yeah. You want to hold off and then come back
sure.
after the rest? Let's just get started on the next one while we wait for Wesley. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what the hell's going on with Noah Schnapp?
Well, Noah Schnapp is a protagonist in Netflix's Stranger Things, which is about to end. It's sort of like high school graduation for this cast. And who knows who is going to end up being the Vivek of Stranger Things? Who is going to get roles after Stranger Things? A lot of people are going to flop, and Noah Schnapp might be one of them. He's gotten a lot of hate over the past several months because he is pro-Israel. And I'm assuming that's because he's Jewish. Not really surprising, but he was very outspokenly pro-Israel. He was promoting bumper stickers that say Zionism is sexy, and Hamas is ISIS, just a few months ago on his Instagram story. And now that everyone has sent him so much negativity, hate, saying that he is pro-genocide, saying that he is a Zionist when he might not I agree or identify as a Zionist anymore now that the tide of public opinion has changed. He posted a video of himself to clarify his true opinions and get social media back on his side so that he doesn't get dropped from the show and so that he can get roles after the show.
Do you think that a big part of a lot of these stories is like, I really do believe that there's like a weird type of, there's an inability for people to regulate their emotions on social media. Like people, they have an emotional reaction to something that happens in the world, and they feel this dire need to speak out about it right then, when that's not really always, especially if you're a front-facing celebrity and your image matters. It's like, I feel like nobody teaches these celebrities that your social media account is a nuclear weapon. Right? It's a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
That could make
silence is violence, Brett.
It was a conflicting moment for celebrities when Israel and Palestine became a trendy political topic, because everyone in their comment section was telling them that their silence is violence and that they needed to make a statement even if they're totally uneducated or unopinionated about it.
Here's the thing.
But I mean, Noah Schnapp hasn't gotten dropped by Netflix, whereas Melissa Barrera, making a pro-Palestine post, got her dropped from the Screen franchise.
I forgot about
and Jenna Ortega, right?
She left after that, I think, right? She just ended.
Jenna Ortega, left the franchise, maybe in reaction to them firing Melissa Barrera, and it doesn't seem like Noah Schnapp got the same institutional consequences, I guess.
I understand the idea of like the notion in the moment that silence is violence, but when it comes down to it at the end, I don't feel like very rarely do I read an article where something says so-and-so who didn't make a comment about this topic. Like, it's bad in the moment. Certainly right as it's happening, people are like, why aren't you speaking out? But when it comes time for your next like audition, they're not going to be looking for things you didn't say. They're going to be looking for things you did say. So it's all about regulating your emotions, take a deep breath, prevent yourself from saying. Now, if you feel strongly about it and you're willing to risk your career for it, go ahead, I guess. That's not my problem. But I really do feel like none of these agents or managers really impart any wisdom upon these people about just how dangerous having a vast social media presence in relation to current events actually is.
Yeah. And I do believe that Noah Schnapp genuinely does feel strongly about it. Yeah. Like, I do believe that he was and is pro-Israel. But let's take a look at this video that he posted and hear what he had to say to get people back on his side.
Noah, I just wanted to come on here super briefly just to discuss everything that's been going on online. I feel like my thoughts and beliefs have been
his PR
so
totally told him to do this, by the way.
From anything even close to what I believe. And I wanted to just state from my heart how I feel. I only want peace and safety and security for all innocent people affected by this conflict. I've had many open discussions with friends from Palestinian background, and I think those are very important conversations to have, and I've learned a lot. And one of the takeaways I've had is that we all hope for the same things, that being those innocent people still being held hostage in Gaza to be returned to their families, and equally hope for an end to the loss of innocent life in Palestine, so many of those people being women and children, and it's horrible to see. And I think anyone with any ounce of humanity would hope for an end to the hostility on both sides. I stand against any killing of any innocent people, and I hope you guys all do too. And I just hope to one day see those two groups be able to live harmoniously together in that region. And I hope for 2024 online to see people be a little more understanding and compassionate and recognize that we're all human, regardless of our race, of our ethnicity, of our background, of our country of birth, of our even our sexuality, of anything. We are all human and we're all the same. And we should all love each other for that and support each other and stand together. And stand together.
The empty
platitudes. For humanity and for peace.
Puppies and rainbows descended from
everything
the sky.
will be sparkles and cupcakes and rainbows. And how can I use being gay to get me out of this situation?
I do laugh because at the end of the day, we're still talking about something that is just so many thousands of miles from where he lives.
And and he lives in a penthouse in LA and thinks that he could possibly come off as relatable to the general public. I think it's very obvious that his PR team told him it would be a good idea to make a clarification video. But now I think it's too late for him
have been so
at this point.
Misconstrued from anything even close to what I believe.
It's too late for him to repair his reputation now, because the internet is not going to forget until the next trendy political topic comes around and no one remembers Israel-Palestine at all. So most of these comments were saying he went from Zionism is sexy to I just want world peace and harmony, guys. That's how you know his bank account was getting hit. Pack it up.
Well, sadly,
another one said he knows he has to work a 9-to-5 job after this season of Stranger Things and had to do something quick. Another one said, didn't his original post say, if you're a both sides person, then you're soulless or something? Cut to him basically saying peace in the Middle East, hey. So, yeah, he did actually say that. His original post did say, you either stand with Israel or you stand with terrorism. He did literally say that.
His new post is exactly what I would have expected from a celebrity 30 years ago. The generic, can't we all just get along, kumbaya bullshit, which is what you probably should do if you're a celebrity. But
in the heat of the moment, what he wanted to say originally, before he had any time to reflect on it, was you either stand with Israel or you stand with terrorism. It shouldn't be a difficult choice. Shame on you. So yeah, he was shaming anyone who wasn't a Zionist. And I did mention that he promoted these stickers that said Zionism is sexy. He's really changed his tune, and it comes off as extremely disingenuous.
Yes.
And I also heard that he is deleting comments that are criticizing him on the post, which is also not a good look.
I don't know. Okay, so Ideally, I would have liked for him to do the old school celebrity thing and just equivocate, because that's good business to me. Do your job, appeal to the largest demographic possible. But if you're not going to do that and you're going to take the Zionism is sexy route and say all those things, like at least kind of stand by
stand
it.
your ground,
like
if it's that important
pick one
to
or
you.
the other, but don't change after the fact.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. So yeah, I don't really feel bad for him if he's not able to get people back on his side.
How do you feel?
Because
about
you know,
these
if he didn't
Wesley?
want to get a negative reaction, then he shouldn't have voiced his opinion at all.
I think it's funny that he started with like, people are saying things online that do not reflect my opinion whatsoever. It's like you, like
you are people. You are people online.
Yeah. It's like you are like the thing you're saying online now does not reflect the opinion that you had whatsoever. So I don't know what you're trying to address.
What would you rather a celebrity do? Would you rather the celebrity take the middle of the ground route, which they would have 30 years ago, and said, why can't we all just get along? Or have them stand their ground and take their insane perspective, or take their less palatable perspective, even if it costs them jobs?
The latter.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't care if they work for me or not. You know, there's a lot of fakeness out there. I also think there's a lot to be said for saying nothing.
Yes.
Like,
I didn't give that as an option, but yeah.
I think there's just something very like arrogant and presumptuous if you're an actor and you think that we want to hear your political punditry, regardless of the subject at hand.
Yeah.
Really.
The only exceptions I can think of to that are if that is like something that you have a long history with. Like if
he hasn't been alive long enough to have a long history with any of these things.
But like, or if you've actually made a movie about a true story or something, and you experienced, like you worked with somebody who went through something, and you're like, oh, I didn't have this happen to me, but I worked very closely with somebody who did, and here's how I feel about it. I don't subscribe to the idea that, like, I think actors should shut up. I do think that if you have nothing to say, then you should shut up. If you have something to say it. I'd rather know who you are. And like, I don't know. The thing that bothers me is not the actors; it's how much people care about what they have to say.
Yeah, like us here.
Yeah,
this is actually so.
Well, no,
funny.
but you're not like getting mad and responding to it and like fire him. You know, like it's.
The last brand deal he had was promoting plant-based fake chicken that delivers straight to your house. I don't know if he's going to be getting any more brand deals after this.
I would be interested to know what our audience, maybe we'll do this as a question tomorrow. What would you rather the audience say? What would you rather the actor say? Speak their mind and give you the option to choose whether or not to support their work, or shut up and dance monkey, as they usually say for a lot of people take that approach. They'd rather the actor just shut up and not share their opinions.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I think our audience would say shut up and dance, monkey.
Like for me,
I don't agree with that, because like it's a job just like any other job. Like,
but to me, I see it as
it's the fact that it matters to them is what bothers me.
But your social media presence, they are uniquely like their work is uniquely impacted by their online discourse. So
that's true about everybody. I don't think it's uniquely.
Look, Michelle from Target shares a bunch of pro Gaza stuff. I don't know how much that hurts Target's bottom line, but she would still probably. I mean,
do you think that Noah Schnapp really faced any risk of getting fired from Stranger Things because of his posts about Israel?
No, I don't.
I highly doubt that. All of his haters are saying that, but I don't think he's going to lose out on any work in Hollywood because of this. No. There are plenty of pro-Israel directors, producers, casting directors, other celebrities. Like, he's certainly not the minority.
It's why it's been so hilarious to watch Hollywood tear itself apart, because the ingrained Marxism in Hollywood, which tells you to support Palestine in this conflict, runs headlong into the fact that Hollywood just doesn't take that stance. And it's been really it is the Ryan Long skit brought to life about not knowing who to support.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone is getting called a Zionist now.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't say anything pro-Israel. Noah Schnapp not included, because obviously he was at least very outspokenly like a Zionist. But now people are getting called a Zionist if they don't say the scripted lines that they are unequivocally in support of Palestine. Or if they didn't say anything at all, they're getting assumed to be a Zionist, which isn't really fair.
In the chats, MD8999 says Michelle from Target sucks. Whoever that is, right? Like,
sorry, Michelle.
F you, Michelle from Target.
Yeah, nobody likes you, Michelle. You're awful.
People with normal 9-to-5 jobs consider their political views to be entirely separate from their jobs. Actors believe that their political views are intrinsically intertwined with their jobs because they believe they have a responsibility to use their platform for good. That's the fundamental difference, and that's the
dorkiest thing
the presumption and the arrogance that I hate so much.
Can we just get one actor who's like, I really believe in using my platform for bad? Like,
Ezra Miller. That would be Ezra Miller.
Yeah, they don't admit it. I want one of them to be like, I endeavor to use my platform for all things evil. Like,
but think about it. There are more actors who didn't say anything about the conflict than actors who did. And they're the ones who are going to come out winning from this situation.
There's a $20 one here from John Solis. Says he probably Davins with or at some point Davined. Does that mean like endeavored?
I don't know.
With a survivor of a camp. Every synagogue I've been a member of has contained at least one survivor of a camp from World War II. So I guess he maybe prayed with someone from one of those camps.
I have no idea what that word means.
Thank you though for the super chat, but I'm afraid that I'm just too dumb to know that word. I apologize.
Let me look it up.
$20 one here from Mikey says, Wesley, it's not that they share their opinions, it's that they have them about everything, being knowledge about it or not. That is also like, it is funny how many people, like, there's so many
Palestine
things.
Quickly became the black square.
I say this about a lot of people, especially in like the culture war space. I'm like, damn, that person has an opinion about like, I'm dumb. Like, I'm legitimately dumb. Like, I don't have, like, if I don't like have a reasonable take on it, I just don't say anything. And even my reasonable takes are fairly stupid. So like, the idea that you're that you can have an opinion about everything is just crazy to me. Like, who's got the time?
I don't disagree with whoever that. I didn't hear the name.
I'm team no strong opinions, guys.
I don't disagree with you that it's annoying. Like, that is for sure true. It's just, it's very easy for me to not care what they think, and I don't know. It's not us.
Yeah.
Not us who put a lot of value in what they say or when they say it or if they say it. But it's the rest of the world.
And also, like, it doesn't stop me from seeing their movies. All the stupid comments in the world won't prevent me from going to see a movie that I'm going to review. I watch tons of shows with people who have hilariously bad opinions, and it's never once. Like, a lot of people, it bothers them. It does not bother me when somebody has, like, a bad opinion. Are you good at your job? That's what matters.
Yeah, like Brie Larson has terrible opinions on things, but she's also bad at her job. So that's the real problem.
Exactly. Right?
If she were incredible at her job, then I would not care.
And she has been incredible at her job. And I will say that to this day. There are movies she's in, I'm like, man, she was awesome in that.
But it's kind of like when we talked about Rachel Zegler, right? Like, I had no problem with her in Hunger Games. It was completely fine to me. It didn't bother me at all. I thought she could sing. She's perfectly fine on screen. Her inability to give an interview without infuriating 3/4 of the internet notwithstanding, I can separate art from artists there, but it's also not the fault of the audience for those who can't. That's on you, the actor, for willingly taking that risk constantly.
I just wonder when these public relations people in Hollywood are going to learn how to not sound robotic. Like, do they need Gen Z to get into that space to help out these actors so they don't sound like they're reading off a script? No. They're supposed to be good at acting. Like, I didn't see his acting skills in that video.
Gen Z is going to be all bogged down with the SSRIs and the Xanax and the prescription drugs, so they'll be just as monotone.
I don't know. It's like, if you feel like you regret making a statement, then say that. Say that you regret making a statement about Israel when you didn't understand or you changed your opinion. If you changed your opinion and you told everyone that, I would respect that.
MD899 says Rachel Zegler sucks more than Michelle from Target.
Yeah.
Hey, she might end up working at Target.
She'll be fine.
I know.
She'll be fine. All right, so let's go to Super Chats.
Oh, and I did look up the meaning of David.
It's to pray.
To pray, yeah. Shane H. Wilder. Oh, I forgot to ask you this. Wesley, this is important. Someone asked, are you feeling glonky today?
Back again.
Is that an inside joke?
It's somebody, DCNC made a video where like he mixed me with the video of the pretty glonky guy. The guy,
I don't know who that is.
It's that video where the guy's interviewing somebody on the street. He's just mumbling with the beanie on, and he was comparing me to him, which ironic. That's in my hometown.
Okay.
There you go.
It's like trying to get him to sing Back Home in Indiana.
Well,
You ever
are
seen
you?
that?
Are you feeling glonky?
No,
Okay.
not very glonky.
Shane H. Wilder
Mumbly.
said, oh no new She-Hulk? Whatever will I do?
That's crazy.
My day is ruined. Shane H. Wilder said, how many crisis parties for Brett to watch Twilight?
How many movies are there?
5. No. What about just the first Twilight? How about that? That's really the only one you need to see.
How many was it for you to watch?
Buffy?
The Star Wars special.
The Star Wars special. Oh,
was it
wish
10?
I remembered. I think it was 10.
10 crisis parties, and I will watch a Twilight movie.
Sounds good.
And give a review during the show.
Sounds good.
The pain in his face.
But the problem is nobody wants you to watch Twilight.
Good.
I highly doubt it's going to happen.
That's because they love me. They respect me. They don't want to see me suffer.
Yeah. Boosted Yogi said, why does everything have to be gay? Why can't these people stop? Please stop.
They can't stop.
I agree. Daniel G said, Zegler tweeted some snark advice for Star Wars. What if somehow Palpatine returned? I've completely horseshoed. Support accelerationism.
They also she wants to play a character. I think she said she was kind of doing the Brie Larson thing where she's trying to get her hat in the ring to get a role.
Interesting.
Let's do one more.
Do you think it's going to work?
I mean, maybe. Yeah.
They couldn't possibly fall off a cliff any harder.
It would be really funny if they did that.
They don't need her help, but
they replace Daisy Ridley with Rachel Zegler and just go full bore.
Just race swapping Ray.
It would be hilarious.
Amazing.
I'll do one more.
Shane H. Wilder said, can we get Wesley at least one crisis party? If we don't, he might develop a complex and think we don't like him.
Well, we have actually gotten that crisis party, and we're almost.
I don't think you were in the room for it. Were you?
Oh, no. Yeah.
So now we're going to have to get another one so Wesley can experience the crisis party. Also, remember, the offer still opens to make Wesley watch The People's Joker. It just merely must be asked for by someone somebody must super chat that request.
Corey Anderson.
Oh, let's hold off on the rest and we'll come back after the fact. All right, Mary, tell us what's going on with Xochitl Gomez. This story is really interesting. Xochitl
Gomez is a Marvel actress. You might have seen her in Multiverse of Madness. That was in 2022. Wow, feels like forever ago. And she recently went on a podcast called The Squeeze, which weirdly enough is hosted by Taylor Lautner and his wife, Taylor Lautner. And she got into the difficulty of navigating the discovery of deep-faked AI porn of herself. And this is really disgusting to even think about because Xochitl Gomez is underage. She is 17 and only turning 18 in April this year. And I assume that when she came across this material, she was 16. That was back when the movie came out, like 15 or 16. And people have made a lot of comments about how they think she appears too adult or too mature when she's on red carpets.
Yeah, I think we had that discussion.
Dresses a certain way that and has this heavy makeup that kind of makes her look too old for her age. And I guess the internet decided it would be a good idea to put her into AI porn. And it's really gross to even think about the fact that she had to come across that.
Yep. We'll come back to it because we have a $20 one here from Mikey who says Wesley must suffer the People's Joker.
Okay. I guess we have no choice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you can make this stop at any time, as you know. Here we go. Ready, Wesley?
Hi, I'm Vera Drew, and 3 months ago, comedian Brie LaRose dared me to re-edit Todd Phillips' Joker. Now, I'm an Emmy-nominated editor who works primarily with Tim and Eric, so I could give you your standard alt-comedy Joker remix with fart sound effects and rhythmic cuts over nightmare drones, and you'd gobble it up, wouldn't you little piggy? But I'm currently unemployed and stupidly ambitious, so for the past 3 months, I've been writing a feature-length screenplay called The People's Joker. Utilizing clips from the 2019 Oscar contender, footage from other iterations of Joker's past, and just movies that feature clowns, as well as additional footage that I'll be shooting in the privacy of my own bedroom. I'm creating an entirely new feature film. You heard me right.
Shane H. Wilder has come to Wesley's rescue. He says, stop the video. Save Wesley.
You saved saved, Wesley.
We can do that. All
now
right.
we'll restart it. If you ask for us to restart it, we'll restart it.
True. That requires we've set the precedent on that one. It's Trudy Jones has twice now donated $100 to make it restart. We will honor that premise. It's a big buyback in if you wanted
for $100.
Yeah, it's a big buyback in. That way we don't always have to restart it. So that's the rules. All right, Mary, continue.
Yes, so let's watch this clip. It says Xochitl Gomez opens up about dealing with deep fake and AI porn of herself and not being able to have it removed from the internet.
Yep. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll just watch the whole clip. Wait.
Thank you. Okay, that one was for Wesley.
There we go.
For me?
For you, feel
buddy.
glonky, right?
I feel glonky.
He finally feels glonky.
Go. All right.
Back to the dark stuff.
Here we go. Seriously. All right, here we go.
I looked on Twitter, and one of those kind of videos popped up, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah. It just popped up.
And it wasn't until then that I realized that my mom had actually had full battles, told my agents and was like, we need to take this down, that kind of thing.
So she'd known that this had been going around.
She had known, and I didn't, which I thank her. You have to be very thankful to have a mom who is so protective and so on it, because I'd never seen any of those before.
Yeah.
And when I asked her, I was
Could you pause it?
What is this? Can we get this taken down?
You might be confused why she said it just popped up. I went and looked at the full segment where she talks about this, and she said this was after she was at an award show and she was name searching herself on Twitter or something to see people's reaction to her outfit, and that, I mean, she has a really unique name, so if you look her up, it's only going to be about her. So that's probably why she scrolled past this and it came up.
Yep. All right, here we go.
And she goes, I've tried. I've tried so hard to get it down. She's had emails upon emails, but there's been a lot, and she's dealt with it all. And for me, it wasn't something that was mind-boggling, but just more why is it so hard to take down?
Yeah.
And that was my whole thought on it, was just why is this allowed?
Yeah.
And I just thought it was weird. And in my mind, I knew that it wasn't me.
Yeah.
So it didn't mess with me or anything like that, but it was just something that felt really uncomfortable, because I couldn't take it down.
Yeah.
You have no control over.
Yeah.
Did it, even though you obviously know it's not you and
Sounds
AI
like a pilot.
is freaking terrifying.
Yeah.
Did it feel like an invasion of privacy? I mean, obviously it's not privacy. But,
yeah.
Because it's not you, but
it's
still.
just an invasion of, who you are, and the fact that just people can do that with your face.
Well, also, the people's face did not really look like me. I think the only thing that really resembled was the eyebrows and maybe the hair. So that's what I gotta say on that. But
She's I got better eyebrows.
but I did see I was just okay, if someone was really weird and twisted, this would not be very good for me, and it freaked me out about the fact that someone thinks that's cool, and it just, made me just weirded out, and I didn't like it, and I wanted it taken down.
Yeah.
And that was my main thought process, was just down, take this down, please.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I felt like it was invading my privacy, more just it wasn't a good look for me. You know? This is
surprised that
nothing
she said
to
that.
do with me. And yet it's on here with my face. And it just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah. Has it been taken down?
I don't think so, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I see a lot less of them.
Yeah.
They just haven't, because you can't take them down.
Yeah. Is there I don't want to say how have you been able to cope with it, but I guess maybe for lack of a better word, cope, or is there tools that you can put in place to not have to see it? Have you can you block it? Yeah.
Not name searching yourself.
Oh yeah.
Don't would help.
Just because I have a free account, I just take it away,
Yeah.
But it's just weird to think that if someone looked up, my name, that's also what pops up too.
Yeah.
But to me, I don't think about that, because there's nothing good comes from thinking about it, you know? So to me, I just don't even give it light of day. Because if I do, then I know that my day is going to be like weirded out and I'm just going to sit weird and it's going to sit with me the wrong way. Yeah. And so instead, kind of what I do is I just like, okay, well, did we send an email? Can we go to take it down? No, we can't. Like, we've tried. Okay, cool. I put my phone down. I figure out something to do for me because that weirded me out, and now I got to feel a little better.
Yeah.
I'm like the most reasonable person I've heard from Hollywood in like the last 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
A lot of people in the chat were saying this is why you don't obsessively Google yourself.
Yeah.
You don't name search yourself if you're a celebrity, because things like this are going to come up. And I guess that's the lesson she should take away from it. Wait, what's going on? I'm getting haunted by Noah Schnapp right now.
We're good.
He's literally a ghost.
He is. Like, no, that was like
the ghost of Noah
That was the
Schnapp
most
passed.
reasonable take I've heard from a celebrity in a very long time. She essentially said, like, this is a situation out of my control. Here is how I can take a situation which I have no control over whatsoever and help myself by controlling the things that I have access to. My attention, my devices. I can put my attention elsewhere. I do not have to obsessively search over something like that. And she's not making it about something that she can't handle. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, despite the fact
it's 'cause
that
she has a mom who loves her.
Yes, it could be the mom that loves her.
Good on her mom, by the way. Like, if you didn't catch that part, she said her mom had already found out that this was happening and was already trying to get the deepfakes taken down unsuccessfly, but without telling her daughter, without weighing her down with the knowledge that this was happening until she found out herself. But yeah, I think that this is going to need legislation in the future.
I mean, I heard a great quote once, and it's obviously when it doesn't necessarily stand up to greater intellectual scrutiny, but the quote was essentially, it says, "The internet is the first man-made object that man itself can't control." And I like that idea that it grew to be something that it never could have anticipated that it would ever be, and it will probably forever because it spans so many countries, because it spans the world, different jurisdictions, different laws, that you'll never be able to truly rein it in without implementing unbelievable levels of worldwide globalist authoritarianism. That these are the side effects of all of the great benefits that we have been given from the internet.
What benefits? How have we benefited from the internet?
I'll tell you. Okay, so all the time that I'm the one who always says like the internet was the worst thing to ever happen to society. But I do believe that one day, if Google, if the government ever came down on Google and was like, we're going to implement these laws, blah blah blah, they just go boop and they turn off Google Maps, and half the country doesn't know where they're going. Apple could do the same thing, right?
I don't know.
Like they have unbelievable power.
Yeah. I wish that there wasn't porn on Twitter in general, to be honest.
There's a $20 one here from I can't read the username there.
Incompetent Hands.
Okay.
Mary not enjoying Buffy is clearly a psyop because anything I don't like is a psyop. So true. I get it. Is before your time. Meet Spike. Big shout out to the crisis actors who are actually cultured.
What I love about the show is I love that they, like, as big of a doofus as Xander is, he's never talked down to by the other characters.
Yeah, I was, the one thing I found strange about this first season is they don't care that Jesse died at all.
Yeah.
Like, what was that about?
Like the show, like, and of course it gets better. Like a lot of people say it gets better in season 2. Somebody else pointed out something really interesting that I didn't know because I didn't see it when it originally aired. They said on the remaster of the show, like because they remastered the video quality, all the shadows that were there in the standard definition version are no longer there, and it destroys a lot of the ambiance. So I would love to be able to go through and like watch the old, because I love shows that haven't been remastered. Like I
did find it to be very poorly lit though.
Yes. In that first season especially, it's very set.
Yeah.
Like, it's all, like, that's a school set for sure. Like, that, there is not a school library that looks like that. I'm sorry. There
Also,
just isn't.
Cordelia is a very one-dimensional.
No, but she becomes the most interesting character. Like, I'm not even kidding. By the time she ends up on Angel, she becomes my favorite character in all of the Buffyverse.
The Buffyverse. That's
what they call it, right? So Cordelia ends up becoming this ridiculously layered character.
Oh, don't you think Alex Clark looks like Cordelia? Or I guess Cordelia looks like Alex Clark?
No.
I thought I could see it.
Because that's Charisma Carpenter, and Charisma Carpenter's older, so technically that would mean that Alex Clark looks like Charisma Carpenter. No.
Oh, okay. Whoever was born first.
Charisma Carpenter.
I think it might just be the shape of their smile.
Yeah, the mouth looks a little bit like Alex Clark.
I definitely see it.
She's a great mean girl. She's a great mean girl. They should have brought Cordelia into the Mean Girls musical.
So true.
That's what they should have done.
Yeah.
Yes, but Xochitl Gomez is displayed more adulthood.
Right. Her and Iman Vellani, despite the fact that they're being weaponized as diversity tokens in MCU projects, they seem like genuinely good people. Yep. They seem like nice people.
Which also
nice
proves
people, the best people.
The best. Proves the narrative wrong that people only dislike
more
people
level-headed
than
their millennial counterparts.
Do you think that's because they've grown up in the internet age?
I guess it must be, at least partially, because like she knows no different than being a public figure and having to deal with hate comments and being objectified or whatever on the internet. It's just a fact of life, and especially a fact of having her profession. Yeah, it's just something that comes with it. It's baggage that comes with being an actress.
I would like to see them raise the profiles of the like look, here is how you behave off camera. These are the ones you want to look. Don't look at Brie Larson.
With the caveat that she could disappoint us later on.
Yeah, well, we're always okay with that. But I'm saying like they're a good blueprint to follow for the incoming actors. That these are the ones you want to.
But anyway,
to model yourself after.
When Elon took over Twitter, it was like there was this promise that he was going to protect children. Yeah. Because Twitter had never done that before. They seemed to be complicit with this abundance of child abuse material living on the platform, and every time it gets reported, people say they're not responding to the issue. So Elon came in and said that he was going to change that, and I guess for her at least that didn't happen. And
how long ago was
I just
this?
think
I
it
mean,
would
these
be
could have been from before this. She could have been talking about situations before.
Sure, but also
happened.
just like Twitch, if it's going to be a 13+ platform, why should there be porn on it anyway? And why is it so ubiquitous? Like you added, it's ad revenue. Like there's an ad revenue structure, and obviously people are going to post porn to get ad revenue. Like that's just blatantly what's going to happen. I wish I didn't have to come across porn on my timeline when I'm just looking at viral tweets. And that's the first reply. I shouldn't have to look at that. Yeah. I just think that would be better for, avoiding situations like this altogether.
And as a whole, I would say a good practice is to not Google yourself. Like, as often as you can, if you have that urge, just say no, as they say. Mm-hmm. Right? Not a good idea.
Well, this is a sad reality. I'm just hoping there will be some kind of structural change in the future, whether it's from Twitter or from the government. I don't care what it takes. I think this is disgusting.
All right, let's go to Super Chats.
Corey Anderson said, any award given out at the AVNs, funny you mentioned that, is more prestigious than the stupid award America Ferrera got.
That was what was the award show she was at?
The Critics' Choice.
Was that the Critics' Choice? Yeah. I thought Ken was the Critics' Choice Awards.
They were both at the same one.
Oh, okay.
Then Emmys happened last night.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of great awards, big awards at the AVNs. Maybe that's where we should do our next review of. We'll review the AVNs. Also, I always love pointing out there's these great timelines that would show like it would show all these Hollywood celebrities dressing really skanky at their events, and then it would show all of these porn stars dressed in fairly not modest.
Oh, a chance to cover myself.
Yes, yeah. Why are the porn stars looking more modest than the Hollywood celebrities?
Yeah.
Because one is like, oh, I never get to do this, and the other one's like, I do this all day, every day. I cover it up. Yeah.
Shane H. Wilder said, I fell asleep. How was the speech? You didn't miss anything. Don't worry about it.
Let's do 2 more from DCNC and onwards.
Organized Business Services said Hollywood wait until Trump gets back in TDS overdrive. Do you think it's going to be that strong, or is TDS played out by now?
I don't think he wins.
We have other things to worry about.
I don't think he wins anyway, so I don't think it matters.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what we said last time.
I don't think he wins.
Who do you think wins?
We were right
Biden?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yeah. I don't think he wins. I think they do everything in their power to keep him out of news. But also, I win in this either way, because if he loses, I'm right. If he wins, I'm wrong. But he wins. They missed out on Vivek. I'm still bummed about that.
I mean, that was never going to happen.
I understand that, but
DCNC said 1, accept award. 2, thank the Academy. 3, GTFO the stage.
What did Ricky Gervais say? Thank your God or whoever and.
I don't know what he said.
He's like, thank your God and get the hell off stage.
Corey Anderson said, I don't care about Gaza. I care about America and Americans.
Perfect. That's
Very
awesome.
fair.
Let's hold off on the rest and we'll come back. All right, Mary, tell us what the hell's going on with Amouranth.
Amouranth, an OnlyFans girl, is telling other women that it would be a terrible idea for them to start an OnlyFans platform. To me, this sounds like killing the competition. But, maybe she has real altruistic intentions here. So she was on stream reacting to a video that was talking about her bank statements because she posted them on X. She made over $50 million off of her OnlyFans subscriptions last year.
Somebody was telling me that those were fake. I don't know if that's
actually true or not. It could be, but honestly, I would believe it. Yeah. I would believe it if it were real. So this person was saying, honestly, man, effing congratulations to Amouranth. You have tricked all these sad men, all these guys who don't realize what free porn is, into making you a very, very, very rich woman. What he's not acknowledging, of course, is that these women on OnlyFans make money off of these guys, not because they're unaware that free porn exists, but because they want the girlfriend experience from an influencer like her. So the guy continued and said, I want to point out, we talk about shit like this. This is the extreme high example, right?
We had a 20. Sorry, we missed a 20 here.
Oh.
From The Undertaker says, do you not have software installed to filter porn from your devices, Mary? Maybe having Big Daddy government enforce your will shouldn't be the first choice. Apps like Covenant Eyes aren't just for teen boys and prawn addicts. So have you ever heard of that?
I have heard of Covenant Eyes. I mean, I'm not going to pay for that, though.
Okay.
No thanks.
Right, continue, sorry.
He said this is the extreme high example, right? She is, according to this, in the top 0.01% of OnlyFans. The problem is 99% of these girls on OnlyFans have seen Amouranth do this, make all this money, and they think they're going to make the same money. They think this is the same cheat code activated for them, and they go sign up to do this, showing their butts off. Next thing you know, their mom, their dad, everyone knows they're getting fired from their jobs over it. And Amouranth replied, and she did not disagree with this guy. She said, I would never recommend girls to start an OnlyFans. Do not. It's not good for you. It only works if you're already an established creator.
She's right about that. Like there's a reason why so many like Mandy Rose from WWE went from WWE to her site and instantly made a crap ton of money because she built her platform on a very public setting, garnered a large audience, and then pulled that audience in. It's like how they always say say somebody's got an audience here on YouTube. Do you know how hard it is? Like Eric July talked about this. Like, do you know how hard it is to pull an audience to get from, you got 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. How many of those do you think are actually going to buy physical media that you're making? It is a very, very, we're talking 1%. Mm-hmm. Like, you're going to get maybe 1% to transfer over. So the idea that you're going to build from that platform alone is kind of ridiculous.
Well, Amouranth needed her Twitch following.
Yes.
Before she made the OnlyFans to move them over. And someone pointed out the median earnings for a creator on OnlyFans are about $200 a month. That's median. So there are literally millions of OnlyFans creators making substantially less than that. And you can only really be in the top 1% or top 0.01% if you want to make Amouranth money.
Mark Daga says only 7% of OnlyFans creators earn the equivalent to a 40-hour work week minimum wage job. So just like what I like the comparison that they always make. It says, now you ladies know what it's like to be a SoundCloud rapper.
Look, it's not a pragmatic solution to your financial troubles.
Well,
I agree.
They think it's a cheat code.
Look, do you think Amouranth is pulling up the ladder behind her and that she's just afraid of the competition? Because I highly doubt that's really what's going on here.
I like the idea that she's pulling the lubed up ladder right up behind her. And
look, when I saw this, I said, I hate this. I hate everything about this because she's being disingenuous. And she is warning people about the financial risk of doing OnlyFans rather than the risk to their interpersonal relationships, the risk to their mental health, the risk to them spiritually speaking. All of these things are far more important. If every woman who did OnlyFans made millions of dollars a year, I would still tell them it's a horrible idea. The money is the least thing that you need to worry about, to be honest. It's the fact that you are selling your body essentially as a digital prostitute. It is spiritually destructive to everyone involved, the people paying you and you selling this product, yourself as the product. It's extremely destructive to society. And now we're arguing about who is to blame for the fact that Amouranth made $50 million off of OnlyFans. Most people are saying it's the simps, but Amouranth also bears guilt in this situation. And this reminds me of a time that Blair White went on Piers Morgan Uncensored, and they were talking about the subject of OnlyFans and the fact that a lot of Gen Z girls are getting duped into thinking this is a get-rich-quick scheme. And Blair White's point basically was, it's not that. If you join OnlyFans, there's a high likelihood, more often than not, that the only thing you're going to do is maybe make $100 or less and ruin your chances of getting a real job after the fact. And yes, I understand that those pragmatic concerns resonate more with people than telling them that what they're doing is morally hazardous, but that's not the whole truth. It's a very, very, very small grain of the truth that you're not telling the whole story because that would be too controversial.
Why don't these women do Mary Kay like they used to? Come on.
I mean, literally, it would be more... I honestly wouldn't have a problem with it if they joined an MLM. Just if we're choosing between OnlyFans and an MLM, go join the MLM.
Like go stay at an airport, like an airport hotel for a weekend, and have somebody sell you about some like get rich quick scheme about like eternal positivity and how you can build your brand that way, and you'll be better off.
I don't know. I just think everyone is so cowardly that they don't have the courage to talk about the real problem here with pornography and with making yourself into a product. It's like commodifying your intimacy.
I don't think it's courage for her. I think she legitimately just doesn't see it that way.
Oh, I'm sure she doesn't. Yeah. But someone like an influencer like a Blair White or a Piers Morgan, like how would that not occur to you? That it would kind of destroy someone's mental stability to sell their bodies on the internet. And that's not something you bring up as a way to warn them against it. It's bizarre to me.
Yeah.
But
because
yeah, I'm sure Amouranth is so far gone that she doesn't even feel anything anymore. Yeah. So she doesn't know what a normal person would feel about selling their body on the internet. But even she was getting all emotional on that stream saying that her husband was forcing her to sell her body. You built an empire off of my body. As if she was doing it against her will.
There was also that lady who she went viral because she quit in tears. It was from July. Yeah. OnlyFans model goes viral after quitting as she's not attracted to men anymore. She says it legitimately destroyed her ability to be attracted to men because of the messages she would receive and the interaction she had.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're interacting with the worst men in society on purpose. It's your job to interact with the worst men in society who are at their worst, who are at their lowest, who are at rock bottom.
She says, I feel a little bit dead inside. This is a woman named Kimchi Princessa. Says, I feel a bit dead inside. I feel completely desensitized, and I don't know, not to sound funny, but I really don't feel any type of desire or attraction to men in general.
Oh yeah, like
anymore.
we made a video about this girl.
Yep.
I remember.
Yep.
Yeah, and those are the types of warnings that girls should be getting against doing OnlyFans. Not, you might not make $1 million. Like, I feel like that's just logical. Like, yeah, you would know that you're not going to become Jeff Bezos off of making an OnlyFans account. It's just very disingenuous to me when people aren't capable of speaking the obvious truth.
Yeah. Yep. I just, a lot of people are going to read just the headline and be like, oh, look at her doing the right thing, trying to warn people off from doing so. But
it's like, even if Amouranth was saying what I'm saying right now, but continuing to make a killing off of all of these lonely men, I would still find it morally abhorrent.
Well, she did do that, essentially. Like, right? Like,
Well, even if she were warning women against doing OnlyFans for the right reasons.
Making herself the victim with the husband thing, but continuing to do it and then changing the story
Right.
to, oh, it's not that you did it off my body, it's that you didn't let me do it on my own terms, which it's like,
stupid.
There's no there there in this case. That's a partnership. You're saying you felt a way about it, and then when that you don't change it, you're changing the way you felt about it.
She also couldn't have her male following know that she was married unless there was some kind of sob story behind it, because that would ruin the illusion of the girlfriend experience which they are purchasing. And it's just ridiculous. Like, yes, these men know that free porn exists. They probably consume free porn as well as OnlyFans, but they are subscribing to OnlyFans to get the illusion that you are private messaging with Amouranth, this beautiful woman across the world. In reality, it's a man or it's like AI that's talking to you. They're not stupid. They know that free porn exists.
I wonder how many of these men bought her beer with her vaginal
vaginal yeast beer.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting. It's very perverted. Like, I'm starting to think that this makes you like publicly indecent. Like, you should be arrested for this. It's public indecency. Okay. You're being indecent on a public platform.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if any women heed her warning. Remember, what's the amount? The creator total is like 2 million people use.
About 3 million, I think.
2 to 3 million are actually signed up for OnlyFans. So just take that in mind when you think about the problem. 3 million is a lot of people, but it's not half the planet doing it. It's 3 million people, which is, I think the creator account in America was pretty high. Like, it wasn't like one in 100 women or something like that.
I'm sure if you looked at the user base, that would be more globalized, though.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Super Chats.
All right. Disco Jensen said, lab meat. So good.
Yum. We're almost at a third crisis party, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make it happen for Wesley.
Corey Anderson said, I was abruptly awoken from a dream the other day, and all I remember is that there were 2 dudes named Bob Thornson and Thorn Bobson. For real?
I don't know who either of those people are.
Okay. Interesting. Being Nice said, does supporting Israel existing make me a Zionist, or is there more to it?
You'd have to ask international relations experts and people who are experts on Middle Eastern affairs. I have no idea. And guess what? I'm glad I don't know, and I'm glad I don't have to care.
Tacti Platty said, I use my platform for evil. Roll that Joker video.
We did.
The Undertaker said, Palestine is a black square of color.
It is a square of color.
Lindsay Stilchner said, those people can't point to Israel or Gaza on a map.
Like, I love the idea of a celebrity just embracing the not knowing of it all.
Brett, I sent you a video that I meant to...
I saw that earlier.
Yeah, like, we should probably...
You want to
show that? Yeah. It's Mia Khalifa at an airport.
Right. Yeah.
Getting told off for her stance on Palestine.
I'm Israel Chai. You see that? You waiting for the bus? Because I'm waiting for my valet. She got real quiet now.
Israel,
Get away from me. Your breath smells awful.
Israel.
Oh my God. You smell like knockoff falafel.
Oh,
Israel, hi.
Yeah.
The fact that
was-
she got her son to start recording it too. I want to see the other angle. Damn. Smell like discount falafel? What does that even mean?
I don't understand. Like, somebody says, what's brave about this? She has her son. It's 2-on-1. Her confidence is because she has someone with her. No bravery here, only stupidity, ignorance.
There's no bravery from either of them.
Yeah, it's just, the whole thing is just stupid.
Corey Anderson said, Wesley, I need an arch nemesis. Are you game?
That sounds like a lot of effort.
A lot of
True.
work.
John Solis said, listen to Decode by Paramore and you're good with Twilight.
What?
Well, that was on the Twilight soundtrack.
Okay, so I can get a shorthand. I can just skip watching the movie and just...
It was a pretty good song.
And just listen to the song.
It was a good song. Mikey said, Wesley must suffer the People's Joker.
He did. At least part of it.
Abigail said, unleash the People's Joker, please.
We did.
And Mikey said, the sad part is that Amouranth is doing the right, but maybe not for the right reason. I don't think she's doing the right thing or for the right reasons. I think she's doing the wrong thing for all the wrong reasons. Shane H. Wilder said, Mary 20s, she rolls them. I try to. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, this one's crazy. Corey Anderson asked, how many super chats for Brett to let Mary slap him on camera?
That sounds like something you'd have to go on OnlyFans to find, my friend.
I don't want to slap Brett.
I'm not doing that thing where it's like it says like boom and it shows a video and says new kink unlocked. We're not doing that on here. That's weird.
Hey!
Stop it! Thank you.
I definitely throw things at Brett, but I've never wanted to slap him in the face.
Do not throw things at me.
I was just kidding. I was kidding. That was
she's
a joke.
making herself sound cooler than she is.
Remember when Sarah from Gamermaids had to slap Jamie Kilstein in the face for Cast Castle?
Yes.
Oh, that was a moment.
Do so with gusto.
And it was supposed to just be a stunt, but she did it actually really hard. Like the pain, his reaction was real. Incompetent Hands said, OnlyFans will cost you your soul and you'll belong in hell.
Hell.
Yeah, it's true. Toe Phone Man said, where's the rocket ship to get out of this universe?
I have no idea, man. You'd have to go looking
Ask
for it.
Elon,
It's
I
in
don't
your
know.
salvation, the Lord Jesus Christ.
So true. I don't know why you just said that.
Mary's like, unironically, yes.
That was iconic, Brett. DCNC said, how much snow you guys get?
Honestly, not a whole lot, but enough to be a problem.
Yeah.
Enough to be annoyed about it.
Yes, that was the problem was that so the freeways weren't bad. Freeway was fine, salted pretty quickly. The snow didn't stick after the salt went down. But the side roads, especially if you're at the higher elevations, ain't fun.
Mm-hmm.
And here at the castle, there's a long uphill driveway to get there that was not inhabitable and not habitable earlier on in the day. So
I made it. I don't know.
You were the only one who made it.
I've got a Hyundai, and that thing made it. I don't know.
Yeah.
By the grace of God.
But
looks like it's gonna snow again on Friday.
But most of the problem was like there was no place on the side roads to even park, and all of the parking lots for the local businesses were still snowed in. There was the dude at the liquor store that's not far away from here was shoveling out the parking lot with a single shovel, and my heart just wept.
He finished it.
Yes,
as far as I can tell.
He might have only done part of it, and then a plow might have come through. I don't know, but it was crazy.
Cornell said, Mary, I was curious if you had come across the video of the daughter telling her dad that she's starting an OF. It definitely comes off as dad takes an L. I have not seen this clip.
Yeah, I have not.
I don't know if I want to.
Could be worse.
Either.
I just sent Mary an article earlier from Indy 100 about mother-daughter pole dancing classes because we're in the end times.
Because it's exercise, you bigot.
Yeah.
Why are you sexualizing pole dancing, you pervert? Why are you sexualizing my tinsel crotch? Women these days.
Where's Chris Cuomo when you need him? What if Chris Cuomo just turned into like a reply guy? I mean, he should have a channel called Chris Cuomo Reply Guy where he just sends like vicious things to people online. Like he totally has his own redemption arc.
I would love that. Pat the Plumber said, what's Wesley looking at?
Wesley, what are you looking at?
A monitor.
Yes.
So that I can see the videos that we play because it doesn't play here. So.
Yes. Shane H. Wilder said, confirmed, Mary beats Brett. I said I throw things at Brett. I don't actually
Luckily, she's not an
slap
athlete
him.
and she doesn't have good aim, so she always misses when she throws stuff.
Yeah, but it's just fun to see you dodge
him. Yes. Well, I was captain of the dodgeball team when I was in school.
Are you actually joking? Or?
No, I was not.
Are you actually joking?
We did not have a dodgeball team. In school. Okay. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. Before we go, would you hit the like button on this video and would you please subscribe to this channel? If you have not subscribed here already, help us get to 100,000 subscribers. We are on our way. It's going to be a big deal when we get there. Remember, the Crisis Party sound will change when we get to 100,000. So that'll be good. And we are still thinking about what we're going to do for that 100,000 subscriber mark episode. So I'd like everyone to kind of give us your ideas. Maybe send it to us on Twitter.
Your new sound should just be America Ferrera's speech.
What?
Like the new Crisis Party sound.
And it's the whole thing. So every Crisis Party is like 7 minutes long. I have ended the poll, ladies and gentlemen. I asked you guys, I said, do you feel enough today? 60% of you say yes. Good. We got some people with some self-esteem in here today.
TCNC said a $20. Mary, I hit him. I didn't punch him.
Quit being a baby, she says.
Quit being
to
a
me.
baby.
I did not
No
hit
one's going to believe you.
That's
You're a male podcaster. No one's going to believe you.
10 years from
Who
now.
Is that?
Amber Heard.
Amber Heard.
Oh, yeah,
10
yeah,
years
yeah.
from now, I'm gonna be on
him.
some reality show, the dark side of podcasting, and it'd be like every day was a new torment.
No, it's going to go in the Timcast musical.
Yes, it's like, I didn't know. Everything I said felt like a gamble. Anything could set her off at any moment. It was rough times being me back then, guys.
Because I'm so intimidating.
Yes, very, very scary. Very scary. All right, Wesley, let everyone know where they can find you.
You can find me at Cast Castle.
Perfect.
Yes, timcast.com.
And I did put your Twitter in the
fine.
the description box. We have one more from Shane H. Wilder who says, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a dodgeball. You can dodge a ball. Yep.
Why are they called dodgeballs?
Because you dodge them.
Have you ever watched vicious dodgeball clips online? There's a whole subcategory of dudes who just unleash on like poor unsuspecting children and women playing dodgeball.
No, it's just weird because like a soccer ball isn't called a kickball.
Kickball's a sport too that's played with a ball similar to a dodgeball. Another one that hurts
baseball,
to get hit in
but
the
with
face.
a kicking,
yeah, kickball.
Anyways,
but yeah, I do recommend if you're ever in a bad mood, go watch vicious dodgeball videos and just watch people get tagged. It's amazing. All right, Mary, where can they find you?
Just one more super chat from the ninja from Pop Culture Planet. I have the crystal ship, buddy. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? I don't know. Anyway, you can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived.
Perfect. Guys, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram and on Twix at Brett Desvig on both of those platforms. What?
Twix. You get me every time.
Yeah. Guys, Instagram, Twix, at Brett Desvig on both of those platforms. Thanks so much for joining us today. It was a fly by the seat of your pants type episode. We barely got the show ready in time, so thank you very much for that. We are here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify if you would prefer to listen rather than watch this show. And if you'd like to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook and TikTok at popculturecrisis, Instagram at popculturecrisisPod. Guys, submit your pets over there at Twix so that we can continue to add to Q to the Day. Guys, we'll be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.